All right, so today we're going to be doing an update on the West Virginia's state-run machine gun dealer. If they pull this off, you will literally be able to walk in there and buy a machine gun. Not a machine gun made pre-1986, any machine gun. Because in 922.0, it's actually wrote in there that the state has the ability to sell civilians machine guns. Obviously, that was wrote in there because police officers are essentially civilians, so the state would procure machine guns and sell them to the police stations. Well, it doesn't say police officers, it just says they can sell those to civilians. So, that's pretty awesome. Before we get into this, don't forget to shop at OnlyTacticalFans@Shopify.com, where you can buy one of the cheapest peace of minds in the face of the earth, and that's a tourniquet. For less than $50, you have the ability to stop a life-threatening injury. Plus, I do have really awesome merchandise like this Shall Not Be Infringed t-shirt, which is pretty freaking dope. Anyways, check that out because I'm permanently demonetized on YouTube, and that's how I pay my bills. And I really do appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you. So let's get into it. So SB 1071, the whole reason we're talking about this is because the deadline is coming up, and it's coming up fast. If they don't get on this, this thing's just going to die off. It'll be like it never ever happened. There's a lot of grassroots pressure ramping up because the GOA is on this. All the Second Amendment people are on this because this is awesome. This could literally break the machine that the commies have had in place for a very long time to disproportionately arm the government over the civilians. We're going to do a quick recap because I didn't get a whole lot of turnout in my first video. I don't know, maybe I ran a bad title or thumbnail. I don't know. So let's brush you up to speed. What exactly is going on here? So West Virginia is running into a problem. They are in a population deficit. They've been declining population since basically like the 1950s. Here's how it breaks down. So in 1950, the population peaked off at about 2 million people, right? Then there was a gentle decline to 1980. Then it stabilized from 1980 to 2000. Then they started aggressively losing people from 2010 to 2023. A measurable loss every single year. Why, you may be asking? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. The big one is the cold jobs.
And the conversation isn't about how to get rich, but how to survive. McDowell County, West Virginia was once the nation's largest coal producer. It is now one of the poorest places in the country, where the food stamp program started and later the opioid crisis took hold.
It's not that the jobs really went away, it's just how they're done requires less people. There's more technology involved, all that. So the population right now is one of the oldest, so when you take all the states, you look at the age group of everybody in there, West Virginia is right up there with one of the oldest, right? What does that mean? You're talking about less babies, and unfortunately, when kids go off to school, they don't come back. They look at other states and like, West Virginia is in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, the scenery is great and all, but I want people around me. You know, I'm going to go try to find my significant other. I need to go get a career. Working at, a mom and pop's restaurant in West Virginia with nobody around except for the people you grew up with really kind of stifles that. So they'll go to college somewhere and they just don't come back. And that's been going on, and it's been getting more and more aggressive. So what's going on with this whole machine gun thing is it's a culture thing, right? They can't out-commie New York, Virginia, and basically the entire East Coast. It's not possible. Their communist laws in those states are so radical and so out of control. There's no way that West Virginia can do it better. So if they can't out-commie the commies, how do they attract population? Well, let's go to the other side of the coin, because we got commies on one side, and then we got conservatives on the other. They could do conservative things like, I don't know, a state-run machine gun shop and start attracting conservatives, because who moves? People with money move, right? Excuse me. If I'm going to move from, say, Wisconsin to West Virginia, it's because I have money. I can't move if I'm broke. So when they get people to move into their state, they secure their voting. They can keep the same people in charge. Like-minded ideals is what Texas and Florida said. They can bring in more money and siphon money off of all these leftist states. Because let's pretend I grow up and I have a raging family leftist. Like, my family's just, they're commies through and through, right? I grow up and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like guns. I kind of like freedom. And I don't like the idea of the state having their fingers in every aspect of my life. I would like to move, but I don't want to move too far away from my family. Just because they're mentally defective and they're communists doesn't mean I don't want to go to Christmas and I don't want to check in on them from time to time. So if they live in New York, where can I move? Right now my options are Texas and Florida. And it's like consistently over 100 degrees Kelvin in both those states, depending on where you live in Texas, because Texas is pretty good. So you do have the option of seeing snow. But if I grew up in New York, I'm going to like a more temperate climate. Something a little bit more gentle in the summer. West Virginia would be a great option. Same with if my family lives in Virginia. Now I can just bounce one state over and I can get away from the communists. What about Washington, D.C.? Yeah, that would be awful to live there. And if my family grew up there and I still want to be able to visit them, West Virginia would be a great way to go if they can sell me on it. Okay, West Virginia, sell me on it. And the state-run machine gun dealer is actually a really good selling point because what does West Virginia have? Not a lot of giant cities. As far as I know, they don't have any giant cities, which means they're not going to attract a population that's going to vote blue. So they can go very, very red. They're in the middle of nowhere. Okay, fact check. Who likes to live in the middle of nowhere, likes to be left alone, and likes to have control over their little, what would you call it, like town governments and stuff like that? I do. I like to live in the middle of nowhere. You know what? I also like machine guns. You know what else I like? After 86 machine guns. I would love to own a saw, right? A newly manufactured saw. Not some pile of crap M60 that's been just run through the ringer year after year after year after year and has been fixed and possibly barely works. Or like, I'd like a brand new Browning M2, a Mod Deuce. I would like that, brand new. If I can move to a state and have the ability to buy those, and if I have the money to be able to move to any state, yeah, Texas is great. They have the Fifth Circuit. They have great gun laws. Florida's awesome. They got Miami. They got ocean everywhere. It's really hot in those states, and they're really, really far away from my family. West Virginia isn't quite as far away, and it's more of a climate I'm already used to. Yeah, they don't have the crazy winters we do, but you know what? It's relatively similar to a Wisconsin climate, except it doesn't get quite as cold, and the summer comes a little bit sooner, and winter is a little bit shorter. Those are all pluses. I like those. And beautiful mountain terrain. So it's a great move. I believe that they are making the right strategy because, again, they can't out-commie the commies. So what is the only option they got? Well, let's go far right. Let's go really far right. You know what? Let's open up a state-run machine gun dealer where average civilians of West Virginia can come in and buy a machine gun. And that's the question. If they get the state-run machine gun dealer going, would you move there? And that's the question that we're trying to answer here. If you would move there, they have till March 4th to get this bill going. That's like literally a week. Right now, the gatekeeper is Tom Willis, Senate member Tom Willis. All the contact information is right here. Tell them, hey, get this through, and I would move there, and I have a huge income. I'm not trying to do the activist thing or a call to action, but this is what's going on. If you want this to happen, and you know other states will pick up on it, get them to do it, and I bet you Texas and Florida will be right behind like, hey, we're also going to open up a state-run machine gun shop. Now, the problem here is that the Fourth Circuit is probably going to shut it down because the government's going to sue, and the Fourth Circuit is traditionally anti-gun. They've upheld assault rifle bans. I mean, without a doubt, on paper, the Fourth Circuit is a terrible circuit to live in. So, the Fourth Circuit will probably shut this down, but it doesn't matter. If this goes through, Texas is going to do it. So now the Fifth Circuit is going to uphold it. So now we have the split in the circuits, which means it's going to go to SCOTUS. And if it goes to SCOTUS, SCOTUS is going to look at the language because they don't worry about the feeling of the law or what they believe is going on. They look at what is written on paper. And it says on paper, the state can buy, possess, and transfer after 86 machine guns. They have an exception. So legally, they can do this. So we'll have to see what happens when it goes up to SCOTUS, but right now we're at step number 1. In order for this to even have a chance at being successful, then if you don't want to be a cop to get a after 86 machine gun or join the military, this is your best chance. Yes, you have the SOT option, But do you really want to go that way? Wouldn't you rather just buy it and not be linked to the ATF, not have to file paperwork, not be subject to inspections, not have what happened to me possibly happen to you? No. So we need step 1 to happen. Here's all the information right there for contacting. Make a call. Send an email. Doesn't take that much time. Look, I get you don't want to call people. I don't either. An email is a great way to go. Anyways, if you guys would like to help support the channel and you don't want to shop at OnlyTacticalFans@Shopify.com, the next best way to do it is click on that Amazon affiliate link. Just by clicking on that link. Even if you don't buy what that link is for, just clicking on it and doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I'll kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.